fucking moving fast though, dog.
Three
That's some
amigos.
self
Collins has been on an
Yeah,
island
let's see it.
lately. Collins has been speaking out.
What's up, guys? We are here in the
McConnell.
longs right now. In the Daddy longs right now. Off of yesterday's low, Friday. Excuse me, yesterday low and Thursday. Last Thursday low right now. We in the longs. Oh, there you go. Alright, we are live. Alright. Yeah, so we're in the dirty lawns right now, guys. Good to see everyone. Running a little late. Just got here. But we here. Well, just got live. Just got in the trade. Everything. Yeah, so we really playing this 87 level, which is last Thursday low. We want to see Price take it over, get over it, do his damn thing. And yeah, in the longs. Stops at 76, right around that Friday low area. So yeah, cool trade. We're in our in some combines, in our Tradeify, straight to funded. Shout out Top Step, shout out Tradeify. Firms we fucking with right now. Oh, sorry, early for the cursing, but but yeah, that's the firms we with right now. And yeah, man, ES is our main lady. You know what I'm saying? So we trade ES, and then yeah. About to let this run for a second. I'm gonna get further situated, and we're gonna be watching news. We're gonna be here for a while today. We're gonna be watching news, watching trades. Not sure how long we're gonna be in this trade because it's already looking a little crazy, but we'll be here watching news with you guys, doing everything that we usually do. I'll be right back. You guys watch the trade, make sure nothing happens. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Let me know.
Let me know if you see something. But yeah, we here, and yeah, let this do its thing for a minute. I'm not gonna play anything in the background because we've been getting copyright strike left and right.
Yeah, YouTube's tightening up on the stream sniping.
Yeah, so just enjoy the charts, guys. I might be able to might have some Apple Music I can play or something maybe. That won't give us a copyright. Alright, cool. Well, we're here, guys. I'm going to fade off for a second. Be right back.
From last night. You know what I'm saying? For real. So Asia.
Yeah,
Excuse me,
for real. The only thing that I would look, because literally I put the path and I put it last night, it was a Tuesday low long. So you'll be enter at 72. You'll be BE by Thursday.
By
and your
the
TP2
87.
is 92. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's the
so-
only little kind of up. But that,
Yeah,
that
but
wasn't
you
that.
gotta be
yeah.
in that, like that's where it's like, okay, that's my perfect situation.
That's my
But
perfect
this is live
situation.
fucking price
Yeah, this
action.
is live price action. Yeah, price action is the main
You
indicator.
feel me? That's the main.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that would have been great. But like,
Yeah, but like,
based off
You
the
know.
pricing and structure, it's like, bro, you gotta be reading the market. It's like, yeah, we bounced off of 60, back over Friday low, back over Tuesday low, attacking Thursday low.
yeah.
You feel me? If Thursday low want to short out, be the short of the day. Then
Yeah, then that's
one
that's
thing.
one thing.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But that's just that you can't predict. You know?
Yeah. Alright, cool. Alright, bet that up. We here, boys. Alright, yeah.
Personally, I'd go with Sparkle. It cleans everyday messes, and it won't clean out your wallet.
Thresholds in Japan at 3.2 on the long JGB or 5 and change here is if we cross it, are we waiting for a result?
So we're very different. Japan, the problem with Japan is that the move is such as it could push certain Japanese institutional investors that are having a lot of mark-to-market losses right now to dispose of other assets. That's why we care about Japan, is we do not want to see them disposing of foreign holdings of bonds. And there's some evidence that this has already happened. So we don't want this accelerated. The US doesn't have that problem. So the Japan issue is much more sensitive, Carl, than the US is.
I mean, I mentioned at the top the $26.6 billion that is coming into U.S. government coffers as a result of tariffs as the big surprise, that that's happening while we're not seeing inflation. Is it possible that that could continue to a point where it could actually lower interest rates because it's bond bullish that we are bringing in so much money? It helps offset the debt problem at a time that it's not sparking inflation. I mean, that would be the best case scenario, wouldn't it?
It would be, but there's no free lunch. So the reason why you have seen both limited inflation pass through and revenue collection is that many companies either are not confident or do not want to test the elasticity of that demand. They don't know how much pricing power they have right now. So you don't want to increase prices if you don't know where the tariffs are going to end up. So the first round, if you like, is you take it on your margins and you hope you have enough inventory to minimize that impact. But at a certain point, if tariffs settle where they are or higher, you're going to have to make a decision as to whether you want to test your pricing power or not. And that's why quite a few economists are saying we still, in the third or early fourth quarter, we need to see how it's going to work out.
Yeah, the decisions get tougher, as you say, on margins and pricing as we work our way toward the end of the year. Pretty interesting times, Mohammed, and 50 days till football season. Come back soon.
Let's go, Jets.
Yeah, I mean, I wish Mohammed gave us a little bit more here. All I really got was, hey guys, you know, productivity may boom, and by the way, we still have to wait and see what's going to happen with the tariff impact. No flying SH-9T. Ugh. It's too basic. Too basic. All right. So, let's see here. Okay, CFTC. I'm going through some of the notes on these, on the Clarity Act.
So the
Where it
CFTC
is, the candle just closed green,
would get
Bo just
Bitcoin and Ethereum, but the SEC
More buyers
would get
off the lows,
ICOs.
higher lows too.
SEC gets ICOs, tokenized securities, etc.
Wow, look at that.
Okay. Legal clarity for
This is
crypto
like negative price action, like
businesses,
high
clear
road
guidelines over the registration and
first
compliance, which is
buyers
great.
right here. That Friday low.
Guidelines for
Stop the initial sell.
registration,
Second buyer just came in and
compliance,
tested Asia high.
reduce litigation
Right there.
risk, definitions of an investment contract asset. What the hell is that?
Buyers, higher low on the buyers, buyers, sellers up there.
Set that up, guys. All right. 15-minute candle close green. Trade getting back into the green. We had some drawdown all the way down in 80. So 80 we were down about.
Okay, we got that. Institutional adoption, regulatory.
80 we was down like 360, bro.
Correctional
And now we
self-custody.
back at balance.
Well, that, yeah, I mean,
That was crazy.
fine.
All right, cool. We here, boys.
because
We
you
here.
can technically self-custody
Let's get it. Let's get it.
stocks as well.
Buyers are stoked right now.
So that's fine. Simple fund, spur lower barriers, compliance costs, could encourage consolidation. Fine. Digital commodity. Okay, what's a digital commodity going to be? So, a digital commodity is a digital asset intrinsically linked to a blockchain system whose value, oh, that's interesting. Value is derived from that system's use, such as governance, transaction fees, or accessing services. That's a digital commodity. Okay, who gets the digital commodities? Digital commodities would be... Wait, so who regulates... Oh, I see. Okay, here we go. This is so interesting. There's so much... They're finally adding regulation to crypto. Explicit exclusions to a commodity. Okay. Excludes stablecoins, securities, deposits, derivatives, pooled investment vehicles, NFTs, tokenized real-world assets. So basically, those would all be securities. An investment contract asset, offerings to raise capital for securities. Investment contract, that's fine.
My name is Tanya O'Neill. I work for Bath & Body Works, and I am the treasury manager. It's so impactful because the people. This is where you can all come and mingle and network. There's people from all around the world. In our organizations, we get so siloed and don't look outside the box, but then we can come into AFP and see what other people do differently and gain insights from that. It's an epicenter of all things.
Securities transaction, as long as the trade is not with the issuer or agents. So that's really interesting. Okay, so in English, example, if Househack tokenizes, 20 houses, and then we sell those sort of tokens, right? Then what you really do is you say, we'd have to register that as a securities offering or an investment contract asset. But once you have the token, you can sell it as not a securities transaction. So it gives you some more freedom. But I mean, that's basically the same thing you could do with a stock. Like, you buy a stock from a broker-dealer or an issuer, it's a securities transaction. I walk up to you and hand you the piece of paper. That's not regulated. Well, that's okay. All right, so that's good for stablecoins. Digital commodities get the CFTC. That's Bitcoin and Ethereum. Got it. SEC is going to do all of the ICOs and tokens. That is interesting. All right. Let's see what else we got over here.
For the day, breaking down his latest quarter. We'll be right back.
No. All right, fine.
A whole suite of advisory solutions that will level up your success. Experience the
pricing. Curious to hear your reaction.
Yeah, listen, we certainly agree with the Trump administration goal of trying to lower prices for patients here in the U.S. And I think if you look at, there's two primary reasons why that occurs. One, we've got countries outside the U.S. not paying their fair share. You think about, and sometimes it's a clunky argument, but NATO, we're requiring to spend X amount on defense. Why don't we demand the same on healthcare?
It's an interesting comparison. I haven't heard that.
Yeah, but if you think about it, what's happening in these other countries is they're actually paying more to get less. And so what do I mean by that? Their individual tax rates are much higher than what we experience here in the U.S., yet their access to cutting-edge medicines are far below. To give you an idea, products approved within 1 year within the G20, U.S. patients have access 78% of the time in that first year. UK, it's 38%. Canada, it's 20%.
Right, this is boring.
While repelling moisture and the elements.
Oh my lord.
Speaking of the elements, and that's what's triggering these outbreaks of measles. And it's not only measles, it's often...
All right. Let me see. I want to see. Rule for crypto will be up. First motion is to reconsider. Since Trump has gotten his opponents to fold, we don't see a problem. Okay, so these are probably going to pass. That was because of Trump's announcement yesterday. Yesterday, they had the votes. Okay. Let's see. Compare, whatever. Micron. This is all fundraising for politicians. Tumultuous day. Democrats almost succeeded in getting the Jeffrey Epstein item in. That didn't work. Okay. There's so much going on this week with the crypto week. It's actually kind of exciting. Okay, let's see here. Okay, somebody says, you buy a house token? What are you all talking about? And then trade it without a broker? There is no real estate crypto. You pick another network to host it? I don't really know what you're saying. Okay. All right, that gives us some color on Congress. Oh, the Q's just had a nice fat candlestick down. What data just came in? Let me see. Nothing. EU's talking. No, somebody just hit sell. Dude, look at Open Door. Keeps rocket shipping. Alpha report W again. And Tesla, look at the magnet. 318 magnet. Where's ASML? Ooh, now down 11%. Okay. All right, we're gonna do a little breakdown in just a moment here on these crypto bills. I also, it looks like they're gonna pass within, I would guess, the next, 72 hours here, which is great. Okay. That's that. That's that. Good. Okay. Just trying to get the Doomers to show up here. But, oh, there it comes. Okay, here we go. Let's see what they're saying briefly.
Morgan Stanley in particular, about $60 billion was brought in to the wealth business, below the $80 billion a quarter mark that the bank needs to really hit for its ambitious targets for net new assets. And of course, CEO Ted Pick trying to drum up some interest there. Goldman Sachs down still 0.6%. High bar for the earnings season, and Bank of America down 1.4%.
Yeah, big time. A high bar and a tough crowd when you take a look at the reaction right now. Big decline when it comes to Morgan Stanley and Bank of America. Maybe
it's more news about Fire Powell. That's why I think we're getting these red candles right now.
As the S&P 500 still deciding what to do, you can go ahead and call that unchanged. Even as you have big tech lower on the day. The Nasdaq 100 down about 0.3%. So perhaps some resiliency when it comes to the S&P 500, fighting off those big
You
tech
guys
woes.
watching this shit
Fighting
with
off
me?
the big tech woes
You
and the
see
banking
this?
woes too. And coming up tomorrow,
Trade was
we've got a
just
lot
up
more going
so
on for you. A
good.
conversation with
Spiked
the
down,
OECD
almost
Secretary
got
General
me out.
Rebecca Patterson
Got
to
the
break
boys
down this
out.
complicated economy.
Came
Stick
back.
with us. This is Bloomberg
We're here,
Interest.
boys.
That's so fast for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Gotta grow some nuts. I was about
Stick
to run
with
out the
your
room,
mom.
but I'm not gonna lose nothing that I
See
was
what
prepared
other-
to lose. So gotta hold it through.
Man.
Yeah.
Gotta
No,
hold it.
the,
That's why I
the,
gotta stop loss.
that's why we got
today
stop
with
loss.
good
The dip
content
had no news too, by
on
the
the
way. It
TV
was
source.
just some seller came in
Sometimes
at
you just
63.
get that, just lame
Ping
stuff that
ponged
they
it
have
between
on TV.
77 and
That's
63.
alright.
Like when I tell you I hovered the stop by $1.
But I'm trying to get more insight on this Powell thing.
That was
Okay.
insane. What was that, bro?
It looks like it's now CBS is adding to reports that we've already seen.
Needs to get back on the curve on where rates should be.
I wonder how that's hitting
Very
treasuries.
cool.
Yeah, here we go.
It's not really.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have 4.45.
Vincent.
Okay.
Yeah, Vincent just shit.
Yeah.
He just shit on Powell.
He just shit on Powell.
Powell.
Yeah, Kevin's talking about it.
Okie dokie. Besant is an option for Fed chair.
Ah, great. Stop that.
Stop field.
Hmm.
Bounce up.
96, 525.
Yeah, Powell.
Yeah, that nigga Benson just shit on Powell on Fox Business.
Okay.
Alright.
Let's do. Let me
Great.
see.
I'm
Actually,
sitting
let's
back
go
down,
one
guys.
more.
1L.
So I want to talk about.
That's
There's so
the
much to
day.
talk about. We'll talk about
Vincent
Powell
just
and then
came
the
in,
crypto
shit on
bills.
Powell.
Probably the way
Market
we'll do
didn't go
this.
anywhere, just stopped everybody out.
But Powell,
Great.
this just coming in minutes
11
ago
miles.
about Trump basically asking Congress members about firing Powell. Kind of stands in contrast with what he's been saying. Here it is. Trump indicated he'll fire Powell. Wow, he asked on Tuesday. That was just yesterday. Wow.
News right now.
Stocks and dollar fall on latest threat. Ah. Let's go look at you up.
$11 now.
11 o'clock. I'm out, boys. Damn.
Let's go.
Out the trade.
up.
I was ready.
Yeah, you up is
Vincent came
down.
in and poo-poo,
And
shishi,
then
boo-boo.
let's look at
Like, look at this
gold.
bullshit, bro.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform made for anyone with an idea and a drive to bring it to life. Describe what you want and watch it take shape. You can plan, customize, and expand in any direction. From tools built for one to platforms ready for many. From passion projects to enterprise-grade systems, everything is built in and ready to launch. It's a new world.
See, man. A+ on the day for us to grade.
Imagination takes you. Can you imagine it?
Yeah, I got it off. It's not on top.
Reality,
Oh, it's not
right now.
You get used to me.
Alright, cool.
Stop this out and about to fucking go. Back at my fucking entry. God damn, bro. Made a low of 76 even.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. That's straight now. That's on the 4 hour. 77. Spit it out. That rock today.
Yeah,
we got
where I got rocked.
Took the high end a little bit. Took the low and tried to take the high. And boom.
That's crazy. Treacherous field coming over. Hour and 15. Yeah. Yeah, great trade, great execution. Only journal from this is news came in and got us out of the trade, took out the 4-hour low, and smashed our key levels. Great trade, great execution. That's trading, boys. That's trading. Nasdaq's pulling yesterday's low. YM is barcode and fucking 627 high. Yep, it's one of them days for sure. Like if my 4-hour, bro, that's so crazy how like the 4-hour looks right now. Literally, yeah. Took that low out, took me out of it, and then it's gonna continue driving into the high now. Yeah, it's crazy. Yep, 1 hour. Look at that shit, mud. Stopped me by a tick. Yep, that's trading, boys. I'm pissed off. I'm going to blunt. I'll be here. Like I said, I was going to be here with you guys for a while today. And we will be here to put on Kevin. And watch the show, man. That really pissed me off.
Someone new who maybe doesn't have that kind of a history or willingness to cut. You know, you don't really know what you're going to get. And some people say that uncertainty is why maybe gold up and stocks down. Now, we got to talk about CPI and PPI because this week could potentially align with the perfect time to basically fire Powell because of the CPI and PPI reports, but they would be a mistake. Now, before we talk about those CPI and PPI reports, though, I want you to understand the Fed chair contender piece that Bloomberg came out with has to do with Kevin Warsh, and he's the guy that a lot of people think is not a good money printer character. So this is Kevin Warsh. We briefly touched on him yesterday, but Bloomberg reported that back when he worked as a governor at the Fed between the Great Recession, he was too worried about inflation happening to encourage money printing. And so he is seen as a candidate that could be a wild card for the Federal Reserve, which is also why people think Kevin Hassett would be a better candidate, because Kevin Hassett will cut rates and run the money printer, both of which is probably, you know, not only what the economy ultimately wants, because people want the helicopter money, but just debases the dollar even more, which again is why people say the dollar or you know, gold is potentially doing so well. Now keep this in mind, in the past, Warsh has had this reputation for being anti-money printing. But lately, he's been flip-flopping and adopting a more dovish tone of, we'll do whatever Trump wants. Cut rates. Let's go cut rates faster. Because he wants the job. People see Warsh as coming out and trying to apply for the job. Now, if you look at Polymarket and you see, you know, who might be the Federal Reserve chairperson, historically, we've seen Hassett in the lead. But Warsh, who's been that hawk in the past, has been a close second. So Hassett in the lead at 24%, Warsh at 20%, Besson at 17%. One of the reasons he's at 17% is because, you know, he's seen as a good Treasury Secretary. So why get rid of him? You know, keep your good Treasury Secretary. He is liked by markets, unlike Navarro and Lutnick, not like whatever you want to call them. And the reason people say that now might be the week that Donald Trump ends up choosing a replacement Fed chair is because you had data that on the headline reiterates Donald Trump's point of view that his tariffs are not causing inflation. Consider the following. Core CPI inflation came in lower than expected at 0.2. The expectation was 0.3. PPI expecting 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. We got 0, 0, 0. Now, why is that misleading? We're going to talk about that. All of this is misleading because the CPI numbers that we got yesterday indicated outside of autos, which were a huge negative drag to consumer spending, we had 6.6% annualized inflation on core consumer goods. This is a really big problem. It suggests that inflation is actually skyrocketing inside of consumer goods. 6.6% annualized inflation is some of the highest inflation that we've seen since 2021 and 2022, when we had 9% inflation year over year in that June month. I remember being on a beach in Germany talking about it and announcing it. Leave me a comment if you remember that. I was in Dusseldorf. Who knew they had beaches in Dusseldorf? They have lakes. Spoiler. But anyway, the headline numbers look great for Trump, which is maybe a way Trump can defend. See, no inflation. But then you get actually into the core, and it's like, oh, crap, these are poopy numbers underneath the hood. The CPI report was not good. We started to see the impact of tariffs on consumer prices. What about PPI this morning? Well, PPI this morning was just as bad. The headline numbers are, oh, PPI is doing great. Look at the headline numbers. They're all 0 as opposed to the 0.2 we expected. This is fantastic news. Then you open up the hood, and what do you end up seeing beneath the hood? Well, first of all, we revised our prior PPI numbers way up from 0.1 to 0.3 and 0.1 to 0.4. So a big revision up last month in inflation for producer prices. And then when we separate out the producer price categories and we actually look at nuance, which is something very important that we do on the channel here, what we find is that demand goods are up 0.3%. So in other words, goods inflation up, but services demand down, which suggests that prices for goods are going up, the same thing we saw in CPI, but there's less trade possible because prices for everything are higher, so you're getting less trade services, which would be like shipping, warehousing, brokering, whatever. That's down 0.1. In other words, inflation is showing up and doing exactly what you expect taxes to do. And this is why, in the Alpha report this morning, which, by the way, the Alpha report this morning absolutely killed it, because we were talking about Opendoor and how much momentum there is in Opendoor, and it's up 23% on the day right now, a big move from when we were talking about it this morning, which is fantastic. So once again, Opendoor kills it. And of course, Tesla, not surprisingly, riding our 318 line almost perfectly, getting magneted down to it, rejecting it. You gotta trust the lines. Anyway, if you want more of these lines, always remember you could go to meetkevin.com and get your Alpha report. Use coupon code Mr. which is really applicable given all this talk about JPOW. And you could join the thousands of course members that we have in the community taking advantage of the Alpha report every single day. So make sure you get that. But something we talked about in the courses this morning was that remember what taxes do economically. Taxes reduce both sides of the supply and demand equation. Taxes reduce demand, but they also reduce supply because the prices for goods and services go up, which reduces demand for both of those, but also reduces the willingness to supply because your margins go down. The difference goes to revenue for the government, but there's also a deadweight loss, which is a negative economic impact. Unfortunately, when you put all of this together, you could end up with a really nasty situation. And I want you to think about this. The nasty situation looks like this. Donald Trump is now talking about firing Powell again. Even though publicly he's saying he's not going to fire Powell, he's now talking about firing Powell to congressmen and women. This is problematic because it's kind of like the Epstein files. He publicly tells us one thing and then the action is a totally different thing. So that is a risk. Now, what is the risk of firing Powell? Whether he legally can or can't, we find that Trump tends to do what he wants, right? If you fire Powell, what you probably end up with is dollar down, gold up, in my opinion. These are possible outcomes. Probably bonds bond uncertainty in the near term. You wonder, the replacement will dictate, some of the impact. Replacement uncertainty, right? So look at like Hassett, think printer.
Now here we go. I can't help it if I'm popping, see them watch like I feel fabulous. Work it out. I hit it back with a brand new style. I'ma shout it real loud and proud. Baby, I'm fabulous.
I can consider Clover as our third arm. We're able to track our time for our employees a lot more efficiently.
Before Clover, it was very unprofessional. It was very chaotic.
After Clover, we control all the numbers. I don't have to go to the bank like 2-3 times a week.
Yo, here guys. We got stopped out and the trade is going. That's trading, boys.
Look at this, guys. Goodness gracious.
Shit's frozen.
Yeah, it's frozen, but this red candle right here, man, literally stopped us out by a tick, and then price continued, bro. That was diabolical. I ain't gonna lie. That was diabolical. You feel me? But that's trade, man. 550 live. 550 combi. Good work, man.
Yeah, good work. We here, man.
See what price is gonna do. See if it's gonna reach fucking. Literally was almost to our break even.
Yeah, almost there. Literally. For everybody to know, bro. The president cannot fire the Fed.
Yeah, for everybody, like, just for your information,
like
he cannot
it's not a joke.
Legally fire the Fed.
It's not a joke, bro. He's that is like
just
pure,
want to put that out there.
That is like pure bullshit.
Like for the
pure,
bro, for the House senator to go on Fox Business and say that shit and like gaslight this fucking nigga that think he can fire the Fed and he knows that he can't.
He knows that he can't.
It's blasphemy. These niggas are literally creating a dip and buying it right.
Yeah, they're just literally creating a dip so they can buy it, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Like market manipulation's
like,
at an all-time high. It's like it's great. Great time to be in the markets, man.
Look at this candles,
like it's crazy, bro. Like my break even was right here. The stop was literally 76. It went to 76 on the head. Like, bro, when I tell you that is like the most frustrating thing. For
look at that,
and it's all just because the uncertainty. You know what I mean? Which is something you got to be able to maneuver with and understand. And like shit like this gonna happen, bro. For real, like your technicals can always get invalidated by the president coming on a platform and pushing propaganda. I'll just say that, bro. I'll just leave it there, for real. Cause I'll just leave it. It ain't about what the truth is. It ain't about what a lie is. It's just whatever the script is, whatever the propaganda is. Like it can invalidate your technical.
It could be anything. Right now it's Trump. Shit, it was COVID, 2020.
Shit,
like, bro,
before,
5 years in the game.
Yeah, before before it was Trump, it was Biden, sleepy ass, getting on the mic and just mumbling garbage. Like literally, it's just we're in such a dystopian place as a society. It's pretty crazy, for real. That's why I can't even I don't get pissed about days like this, trading days like this, cause like that's why I grade myself before the trade is finished, cause the outcome it don't really matter.
Yeah, it's none the wiser. I can't say that the Senate's not gonna come on TV and
look,
it did it
again. It did it again at the same place. They right there. They right there. They are there. Them niggas is right there, bruh.
Wow, she would have put that, boy.
Boy, look at that
follow
shit.
Your rules, boy.
Look at that.
Oh my god, boss, they did it again.
They did it again.
They just stopped out
check
everybody again.
Check the headlines. Check the headlines.
Wow.
Wow, bro.
Follow your rules, bro.
Wow.
This nigga live right now.
Trump live right now.
About to go live right now.
Alright, guys, I gotta get the news back on. We here with y'all. We here.
Yeah, get the news on.
500 houses, basically, wedge deals, which could be $50 million of wedge value at $100,000 a house, right? That's basically, when we go crack the egg of financing, we can, you know, double the equity we have, or at least increase the equity we have now by 50%, just by doing these wedge value deals. So, like, in fairness, I love the idea of rates coming down. I don't like the idea of rates coming down, though, and creating inflation. And I don't like the idea of being too late for a